The Sixers starting to get the ball rolling in a win against the Dallas Mavericks. Joel Embiid comes back, gets a triple-double. Justin Edwards is the MVP of the league. Tyrese Maxey balls out once again, and the Sixers escape the Mavericks to secure a W in South Philly. Welcome on into NZ for 3, where we yap about the Sixers all day, every day, win or lose. There's plenty to break down from this game. A lot of positives, but a lot of negatives too that the team needs to address moving forward. But this was still a great win. A win is a win. If they were going to lose to the Dallas Mavericks G League team without Anthony Davis, I was going to thrust my head through a wall, but they were able to secure the dub, and we are celebrating. A lot to break down, so let's get right into it. Joel Embiid, we missed you so much. We've been talking a lot of crap about you, saying that we should trade you away, but we do not deny at all your basketball ability on the court. 29 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. Embiid was a beast this game, at least on the offensive side of the floor. Just the value he brings to your team is so crazy with his isolation scoring, his mid-range game, ability to draw fouls, and just make something out of nothing. Give Joel Embiid the ball, and he will be a scoring machine for your team just by making shots and by passing as well. Joel Embiid's reads that were made this game were fantastic, especially his chemistry with Guerschon Yabusele, another player who had himself a night. We're going to talk to him about him and Justin Edwards later, but back to Embiid. Embiid has been finding these guys cutting to the basket. There have had to have been at least 4 separate occasions where Yabu was cutting when Embiid was getting double teamed, and Embiid found him for a crisp entry pass, and then Yabu would get an easy open shot at the rim. The entire Sixers team was doing that the entire night, just taking advantage of all of the gravity Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey provide. There's this one play where Maxey was getting double teamed and Ricky Council just zipped right to the corner. Maxey fouled him. He made a wide open 3. Ricky Council, Justin Edwards, they were really valuable pieces tonight. But Joel Embiid, it really starts with him and his impact all around. Now, there were instances, at least throughout the first 3 quarters, where Embiid's body language when going up for offensive rebounds, or the lack thereof from him, he didn't give much effort on the offensive glass, and the Mavericks were able to score so many easy points just kicking it out. Sixers defenders were just ball watching whenever a shot would go up, not try and grab a rebound at all. And the Mavericks, they were really active on that end, getting a whole bunch of offensive rebounds. It was not fun to watch, and Joel Embiid has that tendency to not grab rebounds as much as you would like him to, just not have that amount of effort or attention to detail on the boards. There's a point in the game, like late into the game, where Kyrie Irving had as many rebounds as Joel Embiid at 8. But after all the time Embiid missed, it's good to see him be comfortable out there. Shout out to Sixers Justin, who posted this clip of Embiid taking the lead for the Sixers with that awesome layup. Yeah, I'm just glad the Sixers were able to survive the Dallas Mavericks in this one. I would not have been happy if they lost to this team, because there are some guys on the Mavericks who I had never seen before, like Edwards. Who else did they have? They had some other guys I had no idea were in the NBA. But the Sixers clutching up, man. Just clutching up and doing a good job taking care of the game. If we go to the box score, some great performances, especially from Yabu and Justin Edwards. Justin Edwards, he is the player the Sixers have been looking for years. 1,000 times better than Jaden Springer or Matisse Thybulle. Heck, maybe even Caleb Martin. That might be a bit of a hot take, but Justin Edwards is providing so much energy for this Sixers team. It's not even funny. And just his willingness to hoist 3-pointers. This is something that is so valuable to your team. Just being able to take the 3 with confidence when the opportunity presents itself, and Justin Edwards had no problem whatsoever slinging those 3s. 4 for 9, 16 points. What a great pickup. What an amazing pickup from Daryl Morey, finding these diamonds in the rough. Justin Edwards had an excellent night. Had one possession where he was clamping up Kyrie Irving himself. and had that amazing transition block at the end of the game, pretty much saved the game for the Sixers. The energy he provides on the court is just contagious. All these other players are getting just powered up by his energy, and I am so glad Justin Edwards is on this team. Daryl Morey, get this man a standard NBA contract right now. He should be a big part of this young core moving forward. Guerschon Yabusele, too. You know, that Quentin Grimes trade that went down, we have a lot more room to sign him. He had another great night, too. 19 points, 8 rebounds. Like I said earlier, his synergy with Embiid, fantastic. His willingness to just get in the post, get down and dirty, fight through contact, like I keep saying with Tobias, and what was so infuriating with him, he would just shy away from contact and had this east-west mentality. But Yabu, he goes straight to the rim, no fear whatsoever. Was getting double-teamed at times, too. Had a great pass to Kelly, who was cutting. Kelly Oubre was a little bit quiet tonight, but still had 9 points, played decent defense, 6 rebounds. If there's one thing I did not like from the Sixers team tonight, it had to be their ball movement. Now, I did mention how they did a good job finding guys on cuts, but it wasn't necessarily a problem with their accuracy, but just communicating. There are plenty of possessions where the Sixers did not communicate with each other, and they tried passing each other the ball, but the other guy did not notice. It resulted in a lot of really easy turnovers. That and the offensive rebounds. The Sixers, at one point, they were getting out-rebounded like 22-11 by the Mavericks. Sixers got out-rebounded by only 4 for the rest of the game, so that was something they did clean up by the fourth quarter. But there's this one possession in particular that really upset me. Embiid tried getting it to Maxey, but Maxey wasn't even looking. I had no idea why Embiid was trying to make that pass. He had a lot of other passes too that were just really tight, not just him, the entire Sixers team. Just trying to force passes rather than try and create separation from your opponent just by backing them down or whatever. I'm sounding like an NBA coach. I'm not an NBA coach, but I'm just noticing what I saw from the game. But just Maxey not anticipating that pass. Klay Thompson picked it off and scored an and one. It was not a pleasant sight. Just watching the Sixers make so much careless mistakes. On the defensive end, too, it was ugly at times. Just they can't keep a guy in front of them. They were making Dante Exum look like prime Magic Johnson. It was crazy in the first couple quarters how every possession Exum was able to go right to the rim at will. And that was a problem when the Sixers were getting blown by because Embiid doesn't recover on the perimeter as much as you would like him to just to conserve energy. And guys like Max Christie were getting wide open looks. Of course, he went 4 for 4. Every NBA player that gets traded goes crazy in the first couple of games, just like Buddy Hield did when we traded for him last year. But just those transition threes the Mavericks had, just operating in transition in general, they tried to push the ball as much as they could. But the Sixers, in the end, thanks to the hard work of Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, were able to carry on through alongside Yabu, Justin Edwards. I can't say enough good things about Guerschon Yabusele. I am so relieved that the Sixers front office are looking to build their team to where they have enough room to sign Yabu back in the offseason. He is the perfect type of player to have next to Joel Embiid, the kind of guy we thought PJ Tucker was going to be. A smart, athletic stretch 4 who could sometimes play center and survive in those minutes without Joel Embiid. Adembona did get some run, only 8 minutes. He did have for at least 2 minutes, was sharing the court with Embiid. It didn't work out. It was a disaster. Nick Nurse scrapped that real quick. But Yabu, just his ability to be in the right spot every single time and use his physicality to create separation and score. He makes the game look easy. Add that with his floor spacing. Oh, did not even make a 3 tonight, but was great as a shooter the entire year. Really dominated in the interior, grabbing 8 rebounds, 4 dimes too, just finding guys off of cuts. Yabu is the perfect player, man. He's just so smart. He knows where to be. You can play him at the 4. You can play him at the 5. He's versatile. He's durable. He can space the floor. He can drive. He can pass. He can do everything. There really aren't any weaknesses in Guerschon Yabusele's game, and I'm happy that the Sixers want to keep him in the future. Justin Edwards, too, just again, he is another player the Sixers have been looking for a millennia. Just a guy who can also space the floor and be a ball hawk defender. 3 and D wings. Low key reminds me of Danny Green. Danny Green was decent when he was with the Sixers, but was sometimes getting cooked by, especially in the playoffs. I remember the 2021 playoffs, Doc Rivers insisted on putting Danny Green on Trae Young. That didn't work out, but as I mentioned earlier, Justin Edwards was having great defensive possessions, just keeping dudes in front of him, sliding his feet, being horizontal, keeping his hands up, was clamping Kyrie Irving himself on that one play. That was one of the plays of the game for me, but just a really nice report card for Justin Edwards and Yabu, the premier role players for the Sixers, and that's something that I think the Sixers really need to prioritize from now on. They need to go the depth route. No more called all-star players to form big threes. We tried it in the past with Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, even like Tobias Harris getting him a max contract, Paul George, James Harden. Although I wish they extended Harden actually, and wish they extended Jimmy. Just trying to build these super teams, it doesn't work because whenever Joel Embiid goes out, you can't do anything. And when you're also making these extra gambles going for Paul George, but Paul George gets injured, it's just Tyrese Maxey and a bunch of dudes. That was one of the big reasons why the Sixers tanked this season early on and are climbing back into the play-in tournament, but I'm liking the direction the Sixers are going in. All they need to do now is just trade Paul George. I'm anticipating that they will trade Paul George by the deadline. I just feel it. I just feel like Daryl Morey is not going to sit around and just watch all these other deals go down. We saw what he did with Quentin Grimes. Getting him, he should be great for the Sixers too, another combo guard. Eric Gordon didn't play tonight. He might be getting shipped out. Who knows with him. But Joel Embiid won't be playing against the Miami Heat, and that sucks, admittedly. But it is a back-to-back, so if the Sixers can survive against the Heat, get another win, get the ball rolling, I'm not going to lie. I'm feeling good about the way the Sixers are heading, at least for this season. With how horrible this season has been, the Sixers have been trying to figure it out. Embiid's finally coming back, and I think the front office is finally realizing that you cannot keep doing the same thing over and over again and getting these old washed stars and washed role players. Just embracing the youth and embracing these hungry players who want to win. Justin Edwards, Ricky Council, all of these guys. These players are who the Sixers have been needing for years, and they're finally showing up, and they will be able to mesh with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain into the future of the team. If the Sixers can build a team with just a bunch of depth, a bunch of role players, I'm feeling confident about them. Because when you have Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey together, I think you have a chance with just how deadly they are as a duo. But I do want to see them run more pick and rolls. Maxey had 13 assists tonight, and he didn't even run many pick and rolls with Joel Embiid, just using his gravity, drawing extra defenders when going to the rack, finding guys wide open for three. A lot of his connections with Embiid was just simple entry passes, as well as a couple pick and pops here and there. But that pass, for example, to Ricky Council when he just got right past the defender, had to draw another one, then kicked it out right to Ricky in the corner. That was beautiful. Maxey is a solid passer. It's just that sometimes he gets that tunnel vision, and it can be hard for him to really generate any offense for the rest of the team. Ricky Council was sort of having a similar issue in the beginning of his career, but his maturity with the ball now has gotten so much better. There was another possession, this happened the last game too, but there's another possession where Ricky caught the ball right at the top of the key, could have took a long three, but decided to pump fake it, go right to the rim, and then got the attention of the other defenders. They stepped up. Then he got a bounce pass to Kelly Oubre, or at least I think it was Kelly, and he got an easy basket. Just playing smart, clean basketball. That has been the 76ers mantra tonight. If they could have cleaned up those silly passes, that would have been great. That would have not have made this a cardiac game, because there's no way the Mavericks would have been able to come back from if the Sixers just weren't making all of those mistakes. But it was a good game from the Sixers, especially when you got Joel Embiid coming back, just learning to play with him again. Justin Edwards, Yabu, even Ricky and Adem Bona, Jeff Dowd. I don't even know why he got any minutes this game. He was terrible. No offense to Jeff Dowd, but the Sixers, they need a legit backup point guard. We can't have Reggie Jackson, Kyle Lowry, and Jeff Dowd being our backup point guards. Lowry, I mean, he's a smart player. He still has something, but like he's only got to be he can only be playing in spurts. You know what I mean? He can't be playing 30+ minutes a night in the playoffs. No way, Jose. That's what you trade Quentin Grimes for, but he's like a more of a shooting guard, not necessarily a floor general, but he will fit in fine with the Sixers team. So yeah, I'm liking the brand of basketball the Sixers are playing. I really think they should just embrace depth rather than reaching for the stars, trying to get these big acquisitions. It just doesn't work out. There really isn't that big fish in the pond that the Sixers think is out there. They thought that was the case with Paul George, but it has been an absolute disaster with him. I can't see Paul George coming back to the Sixers team. I don't really know what he provides. I mean, he's still a great player. He just can't get on the floor. And the way the Sixers are moving with the ball, getting these other guys involved, it's been so much more of a smooth kind of product with the team. And I'm scarred from the past with the Sixers trying to build these super teams, and it doesn't work out. Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid are a two-headed monster that you need to embrace, and you need to build around them in a way to where they are surrounded by smart, athletic players who could dribble, pass, and shoot. That would be ideal. Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid operating together with all the gravity they generate, finding looks for other guys too, filling in those gaps. That's what the Sixers can use. But that was just my thoughts from the game. Let me know what you think down below in the comments section. Do you think the Sixers should prioritize more depth, try and even trade Paul George by the deadline? Because I'm through with Paul George. I'm sorry. Call me delusional. Call me a bit of, someone who overreacts a lot, but I can't take it anymore. The one option the Sixers have left, I can't even talk anymore. If they want to maximize Joel Embiid, that is to go the depth route. Finally surround them with guys all the way down to the 13th man on the roster who can play quality minutes instead of putting all your eggs in one basket and hoping that they could all get healthy and be on the court together. It's not going to work like that anymore. Daryl Morey needs to prioritize deep rosters for once, and if he can do that, I think the Sixers will be set to be able to compete, maybe not this year, but in future years, make the most out of Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and the emerging Jared McCain. But that's all I got. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. I'll see y'all in the next one. I will be live streaming against the Heat. Joel Embiid, unfortunately, will not be playing. I think I already said that, but the Sixers can survive that. We might be building towards something good, being able to salvage the season, but that is it from me. Peace.